Neil, hello, welcome.
Cheers, how's you? All good?
I'm not bad, but thank you for asking, because we all do that, don't we? We ask one another, how are you? How are you doing? And I think up until the pandemic, I think a lot of us, it was just something you say. But I think during the pandemic, we really meant it. And I think that's important generally, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. But in saying that, though, we're brought up like that as an individual anyway, you know what I mean? But yeah, like you say, from the pandemic, global pandemic we were all going through, I think the well-being with individuals collectively, as individuals, when you're speaking to each other, I think it's important, you know what I mean, from that perspective. So, yeah, all good.
Well, I'm glad you're good. And I think you've done a brilliant thing with this logo. A very powerful symbol to have this logo at the
Yeah.
heart of the Harriers kit, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, well, we had a vision, me and Richard, way back really in 2019 when I joined with Richard as a business partner to leading the football community and sector in equality and diversity. I've just been appointed as a board member of Kaleidoscope probably around February, I think it was, January, February. And I introduced Monica Shafak, who's the CEO, to Richard in January. She got appointed officially then. And it was a vision of ours from a wellbeing aspect as well, pre the global pandemic, was to introduce Monica to be the lead non-exec director for this purpose, really. And as obviously going through from March to where we are today, not just the club, but, as an economy, we decided that, to approach Kaleidoscope, because we thought it fitted really well with all stakeholders within the club, whether that's from our under-8s in the foundation to the 16s. Let's face it, everybody goes through some form of pressure, stress, within their normal day-to-day living lives, let alone the pandemic and what we've all been through, and coming to terms with how we cope with that. So, it was really, really exciting for us to, announce Kaleidoscope today. The football community as such, well, I think it's relevant really to any sport, even at the elite level, that we wanted to work with all players and employees at the club and raise the profile and brand of Kaleidoscope and the services and the awareness, and to encourage people really that it's okay to talk about mental health and signposting to the relevant services, something which is larger and more high-profile campaigns that they fail to really do, to be honest with you. So, yeah, it's close to my heart. I mean, I personally was an ex-footballer, and many years ago. You wouldn't see that if you saw me now, Tammy. But yeah, I had to quit through a severe back injury. So I took my own experiences from what I went through as a footballer at the age of 20, and even though I was supported greatly by the club, Torquay United at the time, I think it's important for footballers, sporting athletes, to have that level of support, and we want to. Shall I use the word disrupt within the football sector and be totally different and a support framework for everybody who's connected with Kidderminster Harriers, including the fans.
Fantastic. I think all power to you. It obviously means a lot to the club to promote good mental health for men.
Yeah.
And I think once upon a time, and hopefully this is, well, indeed. And I think, that once upon a time, and I'm hoping this is changing, but I still think we have issues here. I think it was a case that, man up and all of those ridiculous phrases. But actually, this week we've heard that male suicide has reached an all-time high. How do you think reaching out to men through football might help?
Well, I think, to express to and communicate in channels properly, it's okay to talk. And people, like you've said, the stigma associated with men, using that phrase kind of man up. But it's okay to talk now. And with the levels of service options, whether it's bereavement counselling, things that we've got within Kaleidoscope as a supply service for our various counselling channels. I think it's important that we it's how we communicate what's available, what's on opportunity, what they can open up and talk to, and actually more importantly, who they go to within the organisation as well. If they feel that they can't talk to the fellow colleague in whether it's the first team or in the under 8, like, or the coach, etc. It's having stakeholders within our environment. We've got a chaplain and with Monica, etc., and her support team at Kaleidoscope, for somebody to go to talk to about a relevant issue or concern that's impacting on their well-being.